Actually, when I worked for East Gigantic Company before 2000, that is G Capital. Actually, I work for multicultural environment. My kind of colleague was from Africa, Asia, and South America, and so on. And after a few years later, I start work I create my own companies. Then my client was actually located in Hong Kong, Singapore, and Shanghai, all over the world. Then I need to understand cultures and environment in each country. Then after I finish my kind of work in the companies, I join academic world. Then I become dean. Then currently I'm a dean of the College of International Management and Graduate School Management. But my school is located in Japan. But my school is not really Japanese university. Our students, half of our students are international students. And totally we have 6,000 students. The 3,000 students are full-time international students. So our faculty also, 50% of faculty are international faculty. They are coming from US, Canada, European countries, and South America, and any Asian countries. So again, I have a lot of such new cultural and different environment. Therefore, I'd like to deliver the importance of leaders and what is the leadership in the future. And if you check this picture, probably left-hand side, maybe this is leaders before I was born. The right-hand side, they are leaders after I was born. So probably, President Kennedy or Martin Luther King Jr. and Prime Minister Thatcher. And one of them is actually Japanese females. If you want, I'd like to explain about this female. And right-hand side, Chinese leaders and President Trump. Of course, they are two gigantic leaders like that. And we have a business leader, Jeff, and we have an environment activist. She's just 16 years old. So, probably definition of the leadership is slightly different depending on what you are thinking. But probably in the future, in order to understand leader, or in order to become leader, or in order to understand leadership, probably at least we need to understand what is diversity. Diversity is one of the factors like social categorical differences, race, ethical background, genders. And probably when I joined GE in 2000, before 2000, main focus for diversity is probably race and genders, or age. But now we have to think about physical abilities or gender identities. Also, we have to know difference in knowledge or skills, education or functional knowledge or information or expertise. Especially, I did not mention the language, but language is also one of the diversities. Probably right now, English is the main language. However, 100 years later, we don't know English might not be the main language. Chinese language might be the main language. As I mentioned to you before, actually our school is a bilingual university because half of the students are international students, half of the students are Japanese students. Therefore, we offer classes in English and Japanese. But right now, we are thinking trilingual language school, not language school, trilingual schools, which means we plan to teach classes in English, Japanese, and Chinese. Then probably we try to create future global leadership in our universities. But still, in order to understand diversity, is it enough? This is kind of my main challenge. Probably, even though we understand diversity, difference between race or gender or age, still we need to kind of implement concept of diversity. And according to Professor Shaw in Colorado State University, she mentioned about vocabulary, inclusive leadership. Inclusive leadership. And still, this is a main research field. Now, again, my specialization is finance. I'm sorry, actually, if I'm dean, I'm not a specialist in this field. However, after I become dean, I try to think about what is a true leadership beyond diversity. Then we reach to have papers. that is inclusive leadership. And according to her papers, high value in uniqueness and high belongingness, we need to think about these two concepts. And we have to think about this matrix. Then, high belonging and high value, this blue part, that's called inclusions. Inclusion is actually individual is treated as an insider and also allow, encouraged to retain uniqueness within the organizations. So probably, previously I showed diversities. Of course, we need to understand diversities. We have to understand different culture and different environment. And we need to understand different background. But still, we have to think how to implement this kind of diversity within the organizations. So this is really challenging for you if you join company or if you become professors. Probably right now, even though you become faculty member, you need to understand this kind of concept. Because even though you stay in the United States, probably faculty members also are coming from different countries. If you start working in US companies, your client might be the Japanese people or Chinese people or European people. Then probably you need to understand cultural difference between your background and another person's background. So there is no solution for leadership right now, but please think about what is a diversity and what is inclusive leadership in the future. Then you can become very excellent leader in the future. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, hello everyone. Hi. Okay, so how many of you have ever worked in Africa or ever been to Africa? Can you show of hands? Oh, okay, interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, about 10. Fantastic. Then, how many of us have ever worked remotely through, I think Chris mentioned a number of platforms earlier when she was speaking. So, gig platforms such as Freelancer, those are the popular gig platforms on the board. Freelancer, Fiverr, Upwork, Elance, TopTal. How many of us have ever worked on any of those platforms? A few people around the room. Okay, thanks so much. So, but did you know that from the comfort of your individual locations, you can actually travel to Africa through the click of a mouse and work on a project for an African company through what we call the modern day gig platform or the platform economy. So that's going to be the subject of my discussion today. Now, Africa has okay, sorry. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, great. So I'll just go on. So Africa has a number of about 277 unique platforms, and we have about 4.8 million platform workers across different countries: Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Rwanda, etc. And many of these platforms have they span across different industries. So I think the most popular one is Jumia. Jumia is quoted on the New York Stock Exchange. It's an e-commerce platform. We also have platforms in real estate, travel, food, workplace, and different industries. However, I'm going to talk about mainly freelance platforms today. I'd like to illustrate the challenge we have, or the challenge that gave rise to the freelance platform economy in Africa by telling you the story of two small business owners in Africa, Bridget and Obi. Now, Bridget is an entrepreneur in Africa. She runs a small business somewhere in downtown Computer Village in Lagos, Nigeria. Now, she came to work one day and discovered that her trusted right-hand man, Ekene, had left her to start up his own business. This is a common practice in Nigeria, following the apprenticeship system, but she was unprepared for his departure and she was distraught. She had no succession plan. She had no electronic database of customer details, and so she was devastated by the implications of his departure on her trade. In the store next to her, we had Obi. Obi is in dire need of working capital for his business. He went to the bank and was told that in order to access a loan, he needed financial statements, he needed documentation, he needed a business plan. Unfortunately, he's financially illiterate and was struggling with how to come up with the documentation required to access this loan. Bridget and Obi are just two of many small business entrepreneurs in Africa. As hardworking, enterprising, and honest as they are severely limited by the managerial capacity gap, which threatens their ability to grow their businesses and help create a better livelihood for themselves and their companies and their families. So that's where Cleos Africa comes in. Cleos Africa is Africa's first online consulting platform. I conceived of the idea while studying for an MBA at the Lagos Business School and went on to implement the idea by developing a website which links business entrepreneurs in Africa with top-performing business school graduates around the world. Now, to test the validity of my idea, I conducted research on two disparate groups. So the first group was a group of business students at the University of Cambridge, and the second group were a group of 5,000 small business owners in Nigeria. So I was able to access the first group through the Bridges for Enterprise Incubator. It's an incubator run by the University of Cambridge. And through the survey, I found out that a significant percentage of business students in the University of Cambridge were happy to use the platform to develop valuable consulting experience, which could help distinguish them in their job interviews and could look nice on their resumes and could help them engage with actual business owners to solve business problems without having to travel thousands of miles across the world to another continent. At the same time, I surveyed 5,000 small business owners in Nigeria and found out that they were also very keen to use the services of a freelance platform to give them access to services that could help them grow their businesses and thrive. And so the idea for Cleos Africa was born. So how does it work? Since we launched, I've had a number of well-meaning business graduates sign up on the platform, and I'll talk about two examples. So Mara is an HR expert. She helps people like Bridget who have challenges with their human capital to develop succession plans and HR plans for their businesses. Chinedu is a strategic planner that helps people like Obi to raise capital through business plans, financial models, etc. They get paid for their work and they are able to help these entrepreneurs grow their businesses from the comfort of their living rooms and homes without having to travel very far. So now what does that have to do with us in the room? I'd like to go back to the scenario I painted at the beginning about Bridget and Obi. 5 years down the line, let's say by 6 years down the line, let's say by 2025, Bridget, leveraging the advice that she's received on Cleos Africa, is eventually able to create a structured business that has gone on to employ about 50 people, 50 women in her community. At the same time, Obi, who you remember from the beginning was trying to access loans from the bank, has gone on to raise capital not just from an indigenous bank, but from a Silicon Valley investor. Now, this scenario is actually very possible through what we call the gig platform, or the future of the online platforms that make such sustainable development possible. So I'd like to end with a few questions for us to ponder. How might we, as member of Beta Gamma Sigma, make this bright future attainable for entrepreneurs in Africa? How might we put our skills at the service of Africa's enterprising entrepreneurs? How might we leverage technology and platforms to come one step closer to achieving the 8th Sustainable Development Goal of the United Nations, decent work and economic growth for all? How might we invert the popular gig economy paradigm and the infamous brain drain? How might we get American talent to develop Africa and get paid for it? Welcome to the future of work. Thank you.
Well, good evening. You get a tour of the globe in less than an hour. And with get the tour of the globe, you get, of course, different ways that we look at this topic, the future of work. And how am I going to approach this? It has a little bit of a pretentious title because the European perspectives, it's a whole continent with a lot of diversity in itself. What I did, part of my responsibilities at Maastricht University is that I'm responsible for the executive education department. And we have lots of clients, mostly from Northern Europe, so it's a little bit of a Northern European perspective. And I asked them, what is it that you worry about? What is it that you talk about? What do you think that the drivers are of the future of work? And that is what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, and then how that causes a paradigm shift in the European context, and maybe even beyond that, and what that implies for the skills that you're going to be needing in the future. There's three dominant drivers, according to most. One is a very important one in the discussion that you see also when you've been to Europe recently, is that it becomes important to rethink the economic systems that we're working in nowadays. And that sounds very revolutionary, and in a way it is. And it comes from the thinking of that human capital is core of the world of work. Now, what is important to human capital is that you can develop it. Now, if you want to develop human capital, you need to provide access, for example, to education, access to certain economic standards to live. And with the inequality in wealth that is currently still present in the world, that's difficult and will become a problem in the future. The political systems that are run by fear, for example, that are not contributing to an economic flourishing system that is sustainable in the long run. So to rethink the economic systems, it's a difficult question, but a very important excuse my voice. The second one is obviously digitalization. It's what many have been talking about, big data, artificial intelligence, connectivity, 3D printing, all these things that come under that will have a significant impact also in Europe. And the third is sustainability. And that's sustainability in the broad meaning of the word. So not only thinking about climate action, climate change, which is very important, but also thinking about responsible consumption and production, which includes then also well-being of people, for example, which is broader than just looking at climate. Now, all these three drivers are reflected in the Sustainable Development Goals that you hopefully all know, and influence the context of work. And the context of work then more specifically gets the following dimensions, and you've heard other people talk about it too. One very important one is globalization, because if you talk about digitalization, you go beyond one country. When you talk about sustainability questions or rethinking economic systems, you cannot be limited to one nation or even to one continent. So globalization becomes a defining force. Diversity, that comes with it. Joshi talked about that extensively. And the interesting thing is that globalization is not something that you can only read about, but that you have to experience, and also have to experience the diversity to really learn from it. Now, with globalization and not being able as one country or one company to make significant changes that are needed, becomes the importance of networks. So working in more fluid forms, like the GIG platform that Glory talked about just recently, where people inside and outside their organizations connect with each other. And the third element is that it significantly changes and the client expectations, because clients, patients have access to all sorts of information. They expect personalization, and many more things are transparent. So people have much more explicit opinions on what they expect from organizations now, and even more so in the future. The fourth element, and Chris also mentioned, flexible workforce is needed, and flexible in terms of short-term contracts or shorter-term contracts, if you talked about them, but also remote work, so not being in the same location. As Foggia now was at 3:30 a.m. in the morning or 4:30 a.m. in the morning, talking to us from Abu Dhabi. And then the last one that is automatically to it. Chris talked about it too, is lifelong learning. It will never stop. But these challenges or these defining characteristics are of course important to design work, but these things also have to be implemented, and that is when leadership comes into play. And in leadership there's quite a profound paradigm shift going on, because current organizations, they rely, most hierarchy rely on a command, control, compliance way of working. Rules and regulations are important. People executing them and controlling that they do the work well is dominant. That fits well if your environment is stable, if it's predictable. But in the future of work that I just described, the predictability and stability is not there anymore. So you need much more skills of leaders and followers that go towards co-creation, multiple stakeholders, cultivating of different talents that are there, and also working based on commitment rather than on compliance. That for organizations then means, because you cannot do away with the command, control, compliance, most organizations are hierarchies and would be chaos if you would take that away, that you take the strong points from the current paradigm, which is the ability to set boundaries, but you have to combine that with at the same time the requirements that the new development needs, which is more an ability to connect and to learn, to keep learning and to let go. Now that means from a leader and follower perspective that your core skill becomes that you need to navigate potential paradoxes. Because on the one hand, there's still the stability and predictability needed that the hierarchy needs, and on the other hand, you need to sort of step out of that and be open-minded and be creative. It's like with remote work, it's a good example. On the one hand, you need to have enormous discipline to work remotely, and at the same time it provides you lots of autonomy and flexibility. Now this leads to 3 skill sets that you're going to run into to navigate paradoxes. One is advanced cognitive skills. Complex problem solving is a very important one, which simply means that you learn to think from different perspectives, and to work from different perspectives, that you engage in system thinking so that you're aware of what the different systems, either in a company or in countries, how they fit together, and if you do one thing, how that affects other things in the system, that you're aware of the bigger picture. And critical thinking. So can you objectively analyze something and then have an opinion on it? And then argue with it, objectively. Which seems easy, but with all the fake news and all the fake information out there, is getting harder and harder to do, actually. And the second part is the social behavior skills. People management becomes extremely important if you want to work in more networked type structures. Communication skills is part of it, learning to read other people's emotions, know your own emotions, inspire others. Collaboration with others in the traditional sense that you work in teams, but also in the more fluid sense that is called teaming, where you make sure that people from many different backgrounds can work together in a setting that they have not been in before. So where you make sure that there's psychological safety, for example. And the third element is that you need a willingness and an ability to adapt. And that's an attitude. So the skills is skills, you can learn them, you can practice them, but it all starts with an internal attitude of an open mind, so that you're really willing to listen and look at other situations and then defer the judgment that everybody has, comes up in your mind deliberately, and you can practice something like that. That you know what you stand for, Chris talked about it earlier, that you know what drives you, that you know what is that you find very important and that you go for in your career. And all that together, I think in the summit that is coming up now, you'll have plenty of opportunity to start practicing this. Thank you.
So we'd like to take some time now to give you a chance to ask some questions. I think we've got some microphones if you want to line up to be able to ask the panelists some questions. And while people are doing that, a lot of our BGS members are accounting and finance majors, and Wes, I'll ask you a question about how do you see artificial intelligence affecting the accounting profession, and And what do you think the support from our schools should be to help prepare our students for that profession?
When it comes to accounting practice, as I mentioned around the use of artificial intelligence, that it is very much going to change what we perceive to be the accounting function. What a lot of things we do in the accounting profession. Can I just ask, who has studied accounting, introductory accounting subjects? Thank you. Makes my life a lot easier. The debits and credits. We don't need people to do debits and credits. Entering a transaction into a journal, posting it to a ledger, it's not something that we do. You go to a supermarket, you buy your groceries. Their accounting information system automatically gets updated. Their inventory system gets updated, which then flows into reordering that inventory. That used to be manual. It's now been computerized and now has actually been taken over by another type of entity. The same thing will continue to evolve when it comes to what is the function of accounting. How do we actually take that information and move with it? So the day-to-day work, the pure accounting, bookkeeping type of work will actually go, and it will be up to people to be able to make sense of it. And that's, I think, the area that artificial intelligence can't necessarily do very well. Make sense of what the data is. Yes, it can check. Yes, it can prepare. Yes, it can provide disclosures, but not the analytical skills, not the ability to engage beyond just the scope of programming. With regards to academia, I actually didn't start in academia. We're very much the same. We look at life very differently from pure academics. Pure academics will say accounting education is not going to change because we need people. A computer can't be analytical. A computer can't make a decision. If you program it well enough, it can do whatever it wants to do within the parameters you define. So accounting education is not going to be about all of those boring debits and credits that we know you hate to learn. Believe me, we hate to teach it, but we have to. So we'll move on from that, and it will be into more of the soft skills, into those things. And we talk about soft skills all the time. Students need to graduate with all of these soft skills, but really that's what accounting education, I believe, will go into, is getting you to be critical, to critically analyse, which is one thing that we are, for the most extent, rather bad at teaching you. We teach you very well on process, but not very well on critical. And I think soft skills, being able to analyse, is where the education around the accounting profession is going to go.
Thank you.
That's all right, Chris.
Pablo, we'll start with you right here.
Thank you. So I have a couple of questions for both Glory and Dr. Toshitsugo. Sorry, I hope I was saying it right. So the question is, how do you handle inclusive leadership through freelance platforms? How do you make the diversity that can be achieved through these platforms actually stays inside a company from both points of view, like from the point of view of the platform and from the leader that's hiring people from that platform?
Sorry, could you take it again?
Yeah, sure. So you talked about handling inclusive leadership, and also how all these platforms are helping people hire more people, So how can you merge both things? How can you handle inclusive leadership through these platforms? How can you make sure that the diversity that is inside these platforms actually helps building an inclusive leadership inside a company?
I asked a platform for inclusive leadership.
Okay, so essentially, if I get your question right, you're saying how can you use gig platforms to create inclusive leadership?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think at the beginning,
I've got a question for Dr. Otake. So you talked about all the different places you've worked across the world, and you told us about how important it is to retain your unique traits in those different diverse settings. Has there ever been some situations in your experience when you felt it was beneficial to actually conform to the culture you were working in versus retaining your unique